Hey there, my name's Niandra, and one thing I've talked about before is how in fun experimental cards, Mercy often gets the short end of the stick. Now, after some buffs went through, I do think ML7's Mass Resurrect Mercy kinda broke this cycle. I think she ended up feeling pretty good. This then made me think, okay, I have so many opinions on how others have changed Mercy, what would I give her? So I spent some time thinking and realised it is a lot easier to critique other people's ideas than come up with your own. But yeah, I wanted to do a quick video on what I'd like to see Mercy get in a fun experimental card, where I don't really care if an idea is overpowered as long as it's interesting. Also, before I start this video, I made a very short visual novel called Marissa Is Now Idle. It takes place on a computer and is about angsty lesbians playing a dying MMO, and you can download it for free. I'd love it if you gave it a look since it's the most polished game I've made so far. Thank you. Okay, number 1, less ult charge from healing, but more ult charge from damage boost. Heal botting has always been a contentious thing with Mercy players. It used to be super bad a few years back, where 95% of Mercies would just heal fully healthed allies, and they might as well have had Blue Beam unbound since they weren't using it anyways. Nowadays, it's way better, but I still think heal botting is an issue with casual or newer players who still assume that support equals healer. With Violet's experimental card, they put Mercy's healing on a meter and she'd heal less once it ran out. I thought this was effective at punishing heal botting, but also fucked over people who heavily damage boosted it anyway. This is why I love the idea of more ult charge from damage boost. You discourage heal botting without catching blue beamers in the crossfire. Also, in general, the last 2 fun experimental cards haven't touched Mercy's damage boost at all, which is kinda disappointing. Number 2, when Mercy has her staff attached to a target, allies that walk through her beam receive a smaller version of her beam modes. I have not thought about the numbers on this one. Let's just say if you walk through her beam you get 15 healing per second and 10% extra damage, and it lingers for 2 seconds once you leave it. I have no idea if this would be good or not, it might just be garbage, but I thought it'd be funny to see. With Mercy, positioning is fairly rudimentary, you prioritise corners, play behind your team, and I think it'd be fun to see that mixed up somehow. I think it'd be funny to see players take more risks to hit more allies. Maybe people would like super jump to do weird angles or something. Number 3, when Mercy has her beam on a target, pressing the reload key will swiftly pull that ally to her. For starters, this is me throwing a bone to the kinky E-data community. I think you guys would appreciate this. Okay, I know this idea would never work because gamers suck and people would just troll with it, and even if your Mercy did use this with good intentions, I can imagine it would be still irritating to be told this person knows your positioning better than you.
I know more than you. Alright.
But I want it anyway, and I thought I'd mention it. I like the idea of bringing allies to high ground or back from a fight if they're in danger. You know those moments where attackers reach a checkpoint and push up, and you just know your second support is about to get staggered to shit? Or let's say Mercy flies to the skybox during Valkyrie and track Cassidy up to high noon. I think there's a lot of small interactions to discover with this one, which is something that always interests me. Number 4, Mercy gets an overheal like the medic from Team Fortress 2, where if she heals an ally at full health, they get some additional temporary health. I'm usually not a fan of anything that encourages Mercy to heal fully healthed allies, but I think this is a simple way of making her healing a bit more interesting and unique. Number 5, pressing the reload key switches one of Mercy's beam modes to something else. Maybe damage boost becomes damage reduction, or CC reduction, or lets the beam target fire faster. I'm not too fussed on specifics, I just want to make beam management more complex. I assume straight up adding a 3rd beam mode would be awkward and also probably too good, so I think making the user have to balance access is a great compromise and also makes gameplay more interesting. Number 6, when Mercy revives someone, there's a brief period afterwards where kills that the ally gets will reduce the cooldown of Resurrect by a couple of seconds, or maybe final blows that your ally gets with damage boost reduce the cooldown by 1. Basically, the gist is some way to reduce the cooldown of Resurrect, which I know historically has been playing with fire, but this is my video and I can say what I want. And to close this video off, I'm just going to throw out some rapid fire ideas that are too small for their own points, and some of the ideas will be from you guys. Let Mercy blind enemies during Valkyrie like in the Storm Rising cinematic. Mercy can now pick up souls during Valkyrie to res in safer positions. Resing while not touching the ground reduces the cooldown. Mercy can revive herself, maybe loses her ult in the process. Angelic Descent now goes upwards if held while on the floor. A small healing AoE activates when Valkyrie is used. If Mercy is damage boosting someone and they get a final blow, Guardian Angel is reset. Mercy's pistol is now hit scan. Activating Valkyrie resets Resurrect, a passive like Wraith in Apex Legends where a voice line plays if an enemy is looking at you, a passive called Adrenaline where Mercy gets improved self-healing after dealing a final blow, Super Jump as an official ability, healing a full health ally injures Mercy. Wait, what was that last one?